And most of the public is caught up in fairy tales. And so that's why nothing changes. You expose the false reality, the Matrix-like bamboozle-ing that is going on, how the public's been shanghaied psychologically, you can all end. No longer left and right, but tyranny versus liberty. The people versus the social engineers, the New World Order, the eugenicist. That's what Endgame, Terror Storm, Obama deception, all those films cover it. If you attack someone from a left-right perspective, you energize the false paradigm. You put more energy into it. Please get the Obama deception at Infowars.com. Please get it. Please make copies of it for nonprofit educational purposes. Give it to people. Put it on Access TV. You're authorized to. The DVD cover. You know, we had a caller from a university. You know, if it was young Ford Foundation funded anarchists who wear red stars on their shirts and call for Lenin and Mao to take over, they're not anarchists. Communists call themselves that now. Not all the anarchists. I mean, the foundation funded ones. Let's be clear. People build a straw man and say, I'm attacking all anarchists. I'm not. I'm saying those. You know, they can go block hallways, do whatever they want. Universities left alone. Guys are trying, I've got other reports of this, they're trying to give out copies of the Obama deception at universities all over, and they're telling them they can't. The DVD cover says copy and share. The film cover says it. And I get all these emails and faxes saying, send me an email, send me a fax, say I can do it. You got the authorization. But you notice, this land of the free, home of the brave, they're telling you preemptively have to prove that you can make copies of a film and give them out. Bull. That's not the school's purview. It's not the university's job. It's not their jurisdiction. You're not guilty until proven innocent. Tell them to go fly a kite. They are scared of the Obama deception because it shatters their false left-right baby that they're counting on to keep you in the dark. We can overrun these people. We can beat them. Infowars.com, order the high-quality original DVD. PrisonPlanet.tv to download it in super high quality and burn it to DivX disc. Call toll-free to get the DVD. 888-253-3139. 888-253-3139. You can also write to me at 3001 South Lamar, Suite 100, Austin, Texas, 78704. That's 3001 South Lamar, Suite 100, Austin, Texas, 78704. Tell you about one sponsor. We're going to Paul Watson and then your calls up until Deagle joins us in 40 minutes. No, that's more than 40 minutes. 50 minutes. You know, we've had this sponsor for a while. It's not just the bird flu thing, the swine flu thing's breaking out. What can you do to keep you and your family safe from resistant strains of deadly bacteria and viruses? Is there something that can kill bacteria that is safe and can be used on a daily or weekly basis? The new Silver solution is a highly effective, potent nanoparticle, the smaller the better, and this is the tiniest, solution that is lethal to bacteria, yeast, and viruses. That's the good part about Silver. It hits it all. It is non-toxic to humans and animals. The new Silver solution is patented and has been extensively tested. Protect yourself and your family now. Go to supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com, or visit the link on Infowars.com. Again, that's supernaturalsilver.com. And it's a cocktail of things that are going to protect you. But the biggest thing is getting sleep and vitamin C and health and not fighting with your family. Studies show kids that are in homes with yelling and screaming and fighting are many more times likely to get sick, to then develop mental problems, to get into crime. Happiness, calmness, serenity, an island. That's what you and your family need to make your children healthy and happy. Okay, I'm going to shut up now and go to Paul Watson. Paul, I'm not going to keep you. I know you're writing a bunch of stories and working on this right now. But the big point that Dr. Tenpenny pointed out earlier is that Tamiflu only leaves the resistant, stronger strains of the flu alive, just like antibiotics only make the strongest bacteria survive. And everybody's gobbling this stuff all over the world right now, so that that accelerates their mutations right there alone, she was saying. It can mutate into something deadly. It can mutate into something that isn't a problem. Paul Watson, what's your gut on this? I always like your basic analysis. What's your gut on this right now? It's too soon to be able to be concrete in any of this. What's your bottom line here?
Well, that's right, Alex. I mean, there's a vacuum of information. There's a disconnect between what's happening in Mexico and what's happening in the United States, in the fact that there have been no deaths whatsoever in the United States, yet now they're saying 150 in Mexico. My gut is that it's a hoax, and I'm going on the fact that in 1976, something very similar happened. Obviously, it was a different strain, but it was related to swine flu. We've got a story posted on prisonplanet.com from 1976 where Ron Paul comments on what happened, and he called it at the time, quote, an evil political maneuver. And what happened was basically some soldiers at Fort Dix got ill, and it turned out to be swine flu, and this led to Gerald Ford at the time and Donald Rumsfeld.
By the way, I'm going to start over, I interrupted, this is key. By the way, linked to their vaccines, and it wasn't really swine flu, it was some bad reaction. Just like this stuff always breaks out at military bases. Go ahead.
And on the back of that, Rumsfeld led the charge, along with others in that administration, to get the entire population of the United States vaccinated against swine flu. And it turned out that of the small minority who did end up taking the vaccine, hundreds were injured and 56 died. And Ron Paul... By
the way, that's a whitewash. Over 500 people, the government admits, got Guillain-Barré's, an autoimmune disorder from it. That is pure bull. The real number, and I looked at the studies, was in the thousands of dead. But go ahead. But, of course, the medical system that forced the shots on people, it's going to want to cover things up. But their internal documents to take on SV40 and the polio vaccine is 198 million getting a deadly cancer virus from just the first round alone. Go ahead.
Right. So at the time, Ron Paul said, I predict these blatant advertising efforts to panic the people into taking swine flu shots will fail, which is largely what happened. And also, Congressman Larry McDonald at the time said, quote, I think the swine flu program is a tailor-made hoax that finds its roots in frightening the American people.
And by the way, these were the patriots of their day, and they clearly killed McDonald. And this shows how Ron Paul, if you see speeches of his from 30 years ago, it's like Alex Jones. He's gotten more mellow over the years. But yeah, I knew Ron Paul had exposed the swine flu. Start over with him and McDonald. This is key.
Yeah, McDonald said, continuing, quote, I believe that full investigation of those in charge should be launched, and if it turns out to be a dishonest promotion, everyone responsible should be removed from their jobs. Now, you've still got Rumsfeld there today, owning Tamiflu, being the former board of director.
Is there nothing he's not involved in? He's on the board of ABB as the chairman, giving nuke reactors to build bombs, on record, AP, BBC, to North Korea. He gives the chemicals and biologicals to Saddam. He helps create the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. He's involved in the continuity of government takeover set up with FEMA and Rex 84. He's involved. He heads up Searle and Monsanto with the legalization of aspartame. The Terminator gene seeds he's behind. He's involved with Agent Orange. I mean, there's literal, this guy is like Satan. I think he may be the Sith Lord we're dealing with.
And of course, Tamiflu, which is being pushed intensively over the past few days by the media and the government, when it's not, as you mentioned earlier, it's not even going to cure it if it really does mutate. It's owned by Gilead, former board of director Donald Rumsfeld. He still has a major stock holding. Current board of directors include George Schultz, Bilderberg member, and Etienne Davignon, Bilderberg member, and also connected is J.R. De Vink, Bilderberg member. So these are the people that are going to be profiting wildly, no matter how bad this crisis gets. Then on top of that, you've got Kleiner, Perkins, Caulfield and Byers, which is a venture capital firm that holds shares in 8 top biodefense and pandemic companies, which also has a now lucrative partnership with Al Gore. So Al Gore's going to profit from this as well. And then, of course, the article we put out today, which is about Baxter International. It's been announced that they are working with the World Health Organization to develop a vaccine.
They've been chosen, the ones caught mixing live bird flu with vaccines in Europe.
Right. they were caught red-handed last month shipping out the live bird virus to 18 different labs in Europe. And on top of that, they were involved in developing the SARS vaccine when that was a big scare 4 or 5 years ago. And they were given tens of millions, £33 million alone by the UK government.
So this is the go-to company for the insiders at the World Health Organization, at the CDC, who are eugenicists lock, stock, and barrel.
Exactly. And as your previous guest said, you know, as long as they've got the pretext of an emergency situation, because of the changes to the law in the past few years, they've got all the cover they need in terms of liabilities for injuries and deaths with these vaccines, just so long as they do it under the pretext of a crisis, which is exactly how it will.
And they've now declared a crisis